Losing team always picks which side they're on, blue side or red side. J-Team has picked blue side every single time, and it's not really worked out for them. Now do they maybe try and find something new? Maybe do they go onto the red side now?
I don't
go
think
for
that's
a different,
the answer. No,
different
I
game
don't think
plan,
that's the
maybe.
answer. I mean,
but then you're just losing on blue side every single time anyway.
Well, you're
so
going
I
to
feel
lose
like you
worse
have
on
to.
red side. I mean, the problem is you have no bans. You already have no bans. If you swap to red side, it's kind of going to get worse. Honestly, we saw that last game as well. They had no bans on blue side even. It's just a really rough situation for J-Team. And honestly, it comes back to what you said as well. Jungle pool gap.
Yep.
You have forced to ban away so many junglers, they just need to ban Wukong.
I mean, we also saw in that third game, right, a lot of the top side champion pool was banned away, right? I feel like that put a lot of pressure on the top side, Dawn and Ize. I think Ize has a good chance to do decently in his matchup when he's just given a standard lane, right? Whereas I feel like we haven't seen very much from J-Team so far is a side lane that's able to put and apply pressure. Even in that first game, they had a top side that ultimately fell off and was outskilled. I feel like if they're able to get an early game lead, give space to the top side, maybe there is a world where Dawn manages to split push his way into a victory.
That's the problem. I always have a lot of hopium for something like a Zed Lee Sin side lane in the mid to late game, but when you've got a Diana building a Warden's Mill, building Crystalline Reflector, Zhonya's Hourglass, having a Shan Yumi come in on top of her as well, it's so difficult to play side lanes. It's just rough. Nova has had amazing drafts this series.
And the Shen able to roam early
Yeah.
and get the gold lead. Like, if you roam early like that on a Shen, you should be punished.
Yeah.
You should be down, you know, a kill worth of gold. But because not only did they get an assist, but also a kill, Ize goes back to lane and says, hey, this wasn't so bad.
Not too bad.
Chilling.
Who needs creeps when you could just farm kills?
He lost like one creep, Dawn. There was like
No, he lost one wave.
He lost like the wave was lost to the minions anyway because Dawn was winning the lane, right? He was zoning Ize off. So realistically, the only thing he would have got was going to be that one last creep coming on turret anyway. So honestly, very minor loss regardless, was able to get away scot-free and build a really strong lead for the rest of his team. Now, I think that what needs to happen here is that J-Team just need to reprioritize, right? I think bury DUI in the bot side is not going to be the answer for you ultimately.
I think it is. Maybe I think it is.
They've tried 3 times. It's time to try something
they tried
different.
one time. They drafted the Lucian one time. I think
They drafted
run
the
that
Lucian
back.
one time. They went for the Senna as well, trying to go for the scaling on bot side as well.
I want to see Draven trash.
Yeah, I want to see
I want aggression from the bot side because
you're gonna
we saw
lose
it.
anyway. You might as well lose with style.
I mean, we saw it as well against, Flash Wolves. That was the game that they picked Draven Thresh on the bot side. They played aggressive. They went in, DY as well with these level 1, level 2, level 3 engages, playing really, really aggressive during that bot side. And that's what they did. And then Cherry was playing towards that bot side. The early game tower dive in the first game as well. That's where they got their advantages. And when you pick a Senna, you can't make them early game players. So I want them to ban out the Senna this game. Don't go for that again and go for something more aggressive.
And that is something that we've kind of skimmed over as we said, oh yeah, J-Team lost the early game on the invade, but where that actually manifested was that Cherry was unable to help defend Barry from all the early game dives behind the turret, in between turrets. Next thing you know, Senna was 0-4.
Yep.
0-4 Senna, who's like, okay, we're scaling. Like, no, you're very, very, very far behind. Like, this is not going to work. So that allowed then all the styling from Nova to get themselves a victory and really just kind of put the damage there to put looks like that on the base of J-Team. I know you're trying to stay loose there, Barry, but that also feels like the mental state right now. You gotta get some sort of modicum of success. If this was a best of 2, you're swept. Or a best of 3, you're swept. If this is a best of 5, you're swept. This is gonna take a monumental mental fortitude showing here from J-Team to get all the way back, to climb the mountain that is long.
I love that you raised the point about the mental as well. That's kind of why I thought that J-Team could take the series 4-2. But that's also why I said that if Nova won, it could be a 4-0. Because both of these teams are very momentum-based. You see it when they win games. They play so much more confident from game 1 to game 3 in the series against Team Flash. J-Team look like 2 different teams. Once they get going, they can really get going. Unfortunately, today, they haven't quite found the steam just yet.
No, they have not, as looks like we're getting closer to starting our game number 4. Just making sure everything's great with the players in our grand finals with the first ever Icons Global Championship title on the line. And history to be made again. As they said in the video, there's only one first.
Yeah.
There's only one first champion.
Yeah.
And right now, Long and the rest of his squad have 3 wins and almost 2 hands on the trophy.
Oh, they have hands on the trophy.
More hands
been winning
than more hands than J-Team right now. J-Team's still trying to warm them up. You know what it is? Yeah, it's just cold. Let's get the hand warmers going. if we're gonna pick a composition here for J Team that is quintessential J Team, and I'm gonna throw this one here to Omo because I feel like Omo has very strong opinions on draft. What do you want to see?
I think you have to keep the Lee pick. I think that's the pick that Cherry has been the most effective on. You could even say the only pick he's been effective on. And that means they have to get rid of the Yumi for the Yummy, whatever you want to call it. The Yumi, really. You have to get rid of that one for sure. And that's really such a tough situation to be in because you're on blue side, betting Yumi, trying to draft Lee Sin. Digon, I wish I could give you a good answer here, but we're grasping at straws for J-Team. Strong bot lane plus Lee Sin. That's what I would say.
Okay, strong bot lane plus Lee Sin. What do you got for me, Stuart?
I honestly think they should go to red side. I honestly think the red side could be a play. I think, you're losing on blue side every single time anyway. I think if you go over to red side, then you have 2 picks compared to 1. Yes, you might have to ban out, the Senna, the Yumi. You might have to ban out these enchanters. But honestly, you get 2 picks compared to the 1, first pick as well. That could be the difference, I feel like, in this draft.
All right. And then Analyst Grandin, where are we going with here? We pulled out the crazy assassin composition already.
Look.
And they lost.
And they lost.
Which was also within my expectations, right? There's a lot of pressure on these teams right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pressure on J-Team, and there's also a lot of pressure on Nova, the closest one out,
No, I think Nova
I disagree with that. Prophet Brandon, I disagree with that.
I feel like there is still going to be a lot of pressure for Nova to clear this one out, especially in such a dominant fashion, right? Being the first ever Icons champion, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on them. J-Team, I look towards their top side, and I have to say, at this point, after 3 games of Don winning his lane on 3 different styles of champions, on champions that are winning in lane, that's supposed to win lane, champions that are not supposed to win lane, he has won lane in all 3 circumstances. And I feel like it's time to reward him for his consistency in these past 3 games and give him a champion that he's able to carry on in the 4th.
He's had Riven. He's had Set and Shen. What more can you give him?
And he's done well in his matchups.
Yeah, sure.
And he's done well in his matchups, but the rest of his team is demanding attention from the rest of the map. I want them to play much more stable in those other lanes and let him receive attention and see if he's able to get them going.
But I don't think it's Pan that's like, hey, I need more resources. It's Cherry going, hey, this is a lane I'm ganking now. Oh no, we're dead. It's like, I feel like it's more on Cherry right now to focus on that top side of the map and make something happen.
Well, Digon.
When you get into the finals with your jungler being a Wukong one-trick, it can get a little bit rough.
No.
I don't think you can discredit Cherry like that. If it was as simple as batting away the Wukong, I feel like teams would have already done that.
That's what I've been saying, Grandin. I've been saying ban away the Wukong, Grandin.
Able to take
To be honest, you did say that quite
I
a lot.
said that constantly, ban away the Wukong.
Yeah, he was begging Team Flash to ban the Wukong.
Unfortunately, I don't speak Vietnamese. I do speak Mandarin, so that's why Nova have been banning the Wukong.
So you've been giving them the secret tactics this whole time.
Don't- yeah,
Omo.
I mean,
Coach
it's-
Omo.
It's pretty obvious, you look at the playoffs,
Crazy.
literally, I believe 7 out of 8 games, something along that line. 80-90% of his games in the playoffs, prior to today, Cherry has played Wukong.
Yeah.
There was a lot of fear from Barry, from Pan, from Dawn, as you see Barry and Cherry on this total kill leader list, with Long currently leading 1 away from being 100. And again, we just wanted to give you the perspective here. Xingdu as well had the opportunity to play in the play-ins. All these guys had the opportunity to play in the play-ins here, but RQ's Chaz as well at number 2. We got to see his Chazix over and over again getting a ton of those kills, and the Lisa.
Yeah, I think it was like 20 kills or something.
Yeah, it's magnificent performances coming from Chaz. But what I'm taking away from these stats, from the 2 teams we have on the grand final stage right now, is that play-ins buff is just broken. It buffs your stats, it warms you up, it gives you experience. Let me play in play-ins. I'm going to lose the finals in my regional league next year just to play play-ins.
I mean, that's the thing sometimes, is like, sometimes teams actually prefer to play in play-ins because, like you said, you get the warm-up, you get that, you kind of get rid of the stage nerves that you normally get during the group stage as well. And I think that's, probably benefited, teams like Nova and teams like J-Team, they played in play-ins, they got a few comfort, they won a few games. And that's, that might be one of the reasons as well. We're talking about the number 3 seed from China and also technically the number 5 seed
that's
from
crazy,
China as well, coming into these finals. These are 2 teams that at the start of the year in the WRL in stage 1, they were the top 2. In stage 2 during Challenger, Nova was number 1 and J-Team were number 3. They just, kind of choked really during playoffs and they weren't able to, get them top seeds.
I think that's a very interesting point. We literally have the grand finals teams from the WRL being the 2 lowest seeded teams coming into this.
Yeah,
that is true. That is true. And you're wondering, like, how did that happen? How did we get here? What happened to FPX? Both of these squads on stage here have shown the ability in that draft adaptation, execution, and times of pressure to close it on out. One thing that we haven't had a lot of, though, actually we haven't had it all, no reverse sweeps. No one who's won the first game has lost a series. We haven't seen a lot of like battle backs here, but maybe there's a little bit of a break is going to do something here for J Team's execution. Right now, you know, the drafts still feel pretty difficult. Wukong is not going to be in the hands of Jerry.
I feel like Roasted Y has lost after winning of the first game against one of the
No, but we don't count
WRLs.
reverse sweeps in best of 3s. That's too easy. Has to be a best of 5 at least.
Sure. I guess if that's the metric that we're going by, only best of 5s, then yeah, I don't think we have had any, right?
Yeah, it's been pretty smooth sailing so far. I do want to point out a fun little stat while we have a bit of time. I wanted to bring this up in the pre-show, but I do want to point out, I think it's very important that you brought up Dawn. I do think that's a point that both teams should be trying to attack more.
Thank you.
Hang on, let me follow up with this, because I feel like both of these guys have proven their chops. Dawn, on his way to the Grand Finals, has taken down Acolyte, Devil J, Ysera, and Shy. And his counterpart, Iza, on the way to the Grand Finals, has taken down Ysera as well, Shy as well, these two guys being a bit of a punching bag, Rutel and Fardo. I feel like these are the best Baron laners in the world. Give them some resources.
And speaking of Baron Lane, before this, Yize was the second most in terms of solo kills, and there's only 2 other players that have...
Stuart stats!
Okay, so I have a question for you all.
Okay.
Who do you think, okay, you can name one or even try and name 2 if you want to, who do you think is above Yize in terms of solo kills? So Yize has 6 solo kills, there's only 2 other players that are above him that have 7 solo kills each. Who do you think they are?
I think Helios.
I think Chaz.
Give me Helios and...
No, you gotta pick one.
I mean, you could try to, because there's 2 above
You
him.
can say Hilo and Chaz.
I wasn't gonna say that.
So there's two above Yize that has 7.
They're both tied at 7.
But they both have
Could
7.
we get a clue? Could I phone a friend?
Give like a clue.
Yeah, okay, what region are they from?
No.
Okay, that's
That's-
easy.
One
No,
of
but
them,
if
one of them is from a team that got knocked out in play-ins.
Oh.
What?
Yes. Give me, what's his name?
Lonely
Kid.
Yep,
It's
that's
Lonely
one.
Kid.
Yeah, that's one.
Yes, I
Yes.
knew it. Stuart was going to throw out an EU stat.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know what? You know what's fun about that? Lonely Kid also solo bolo Ysera.
Yes.
Kind of punching back.
And that was also one of my bold predictions as well. I did
Yeah,
say
you did
Lonely
say.
Kid was going to get a solo kill. But yeah, Lonely Kid is one of them. Now, can you guess the other
Helios.
one? Nope.
Chaz.
Man,
Nope.
Not Helios.
wow,
not
this
Chaz.
is difficult.
He's another Baron laner.
Another Baron Faldo.
Nope.
Well, he
Dawn,
has
then.
Nope.
What?
Are we just gonna run through like every
Yeah,
barrel
what-
later? It's like,
Wait, guys.
okay,
think,
Ito.
what are- Shy.
No. Nope.
What? Are there even any Baron
Rattel.
laners left?
Not Rattel.
Rattel plays Garen every game.
I
He's
know.
not gonna solo kill anyone.
Not
From-
MTS.
From the WCK.
Oh, that makes sense. It's Maru.
No.
What? What? Oh, that makes sense. It's Jong on the side lane.
Yeah! We got it!
Every Baron laner.
We got it!
Stuart even said from the WCK, and I still got it wrong.
I tried to give you as many hints as possible, but
Whatever.
yeah,
I got Lonely
you
Kid.
got it.
I called it before when Stuart prepped us like, hey, I'm going to ask you this question. No research done.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Right? Yeah, I was like,
Even though you were saying like sad kid, lonely person, you know, you're
Yeah.
trying to figure out the name in your head, but yeah.
Can I say now, with that in mind, right? 7 most solo kills. Long has had 99 kills, and he's had less than 7 solo kills.
No, it's unfair. Junglers can never get solo.
Yeah,
kills.
that's what I mean.
true.
Yeah. I
It's
think.
true.
I think no, but I think junglers just in general. I think in terms of skirmishes in the early game, there's not really a lot of jungle 1v1s.
Someone always
that you
comes
see.
in and grabs
Yeah,
an assist.
exactly.
Okay,
There's always
ruining
like a
the
mid
stat
lane.
for you.
There's always like a mid laner roaming, or the bot lane, or the Baron lane roaming. I don't think we ever have a situation really in Wild Rift where there's a jungle versus jungle matchup, especially in Scuttlecrab, because normally it's either a hyperscale jungle that likes to farm in the jungle, and then the other side maybe have a jungler that likes to gank, take the early Scuttlecrab. So yeah, I don't think, yeah, there you go, fun stats. That's Stuart.
Stuart stats.
Stuart stats.
Stuart.
There it is. All of you Stuart stands in the chat. There you go.
Wait, is that boss music?
It is boss music. You hear it ready. The
Let's
potential
go.
series-ending game number 4. Ready to go here. Nova looking to pull out the brooms and get the sweep to become the first ever Icons global champions, or will J-Team begin the long march back to a reverse sweep? Let's find out.
And there you go, J-Team
was right.
J-Team red sides. I was like, okay, you have to switch something up. You've lost on blue side every single time. Switch something up. And this is going to be big now. How are J-Team going to adapt to being on the red side now? They don't have the first pick potential anymore, but now they have 2 picks to counter the 1 instead.
I think what we learned from Game 3 is that J-Team either doesn't or won't play Yuumi. And because of that, the switch over to red side, where you have to ban Yuumi anyway, I guess that could be the benefit here versus having to ban Yuumi on blue side, which is just a GG go next angle.
It is a GG go next. But Wukong being banned away every single time. I mean, like,
Yeah, I love that. I
home.
love that. Yeah, it's
Coach
just
home
brilliant.
every time.
There's the Jax, so removing more of that late game power from Nova, but we know that Long's champ pool is as far and as wide as the eye can see. As we
I
wait
thought
to
you was
see
going
our-
for something.
If you listed
I was
out-
worried then.
If you had a list of the champs that Long could play in the jungle, it would be a very long list.
Wow.
Thank you.
Great one.
Thanks, Brandon. You always got my back.
And I feel like spiritually, Nova have gone back to the same style that's worked best for them in WRL. It feels like after they've been able to take down their opponents in FPX, the biggest contenders and the ones that were most likely to gatekeep them from the finals in the first place, once they got to that point, they were more than willing to go back towards a style that succeeded for them in the past, having a scaling option for Long in the jungle, being able to play aggressively from there, and then go into the late game with a scaling composition that Camille fits right in that build.
Yeah, and the Camille gives you the options to make plays in the early to mid game as well. Go for something flashy and skirmishes. We've seen Long pull out some highlight reel clips with that Camille. Won't be surprised to see him pilot that one again. But with that in mind, Yiza also had an MVP performance on Camille. This is good. I like this.
So now it's like J-Team, they have 2 other picks. Do they potentially take away the Corki? Corki could be a one
Sure,
that,
I think
that
you
you
can.
could take away. Oh, you just go Jace again.
But this
so now I
seems
just
to
feel
me
like now I just feel like Nova just go Corki here.
Yeah.
And they're just like, okay. You know,
Yet again is J-Team just tunnel visioning on the early game, right? Jace Lee said, will secure your early game, but at what cost?
Yeah, exactly. It's comfort picks really as well.
Sure,
I feel
that's
like
fair.
for J-Team.
To be honest, Pen had a great showing on the Jace in the first game. I think his damage, his pokes, pre-dragon fights, pre-skirmish setups was fantastic. It's just not enough to close out the game at the end.
All right, so Camille going to the top side of the map.
Show.
Yeah.
And there it is, the
Corki.
Corki.
Yeah, there's the
Wow.
Corki again. I think this is fine for Nova. Again, you're playing Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao's a very good champion. Into Lee Sin, into Jace. Loves to dive in. You know, Jace in melee form.
this is so
Lee Sin as well. But
nice.
also, they go for Riven now. But again, the way that I see J-Team's comp is like, okay, we want to go in. Xin Zhao is the perfect champion for that. You
Yeah.
just use your ultimate, you knock everyone away, and all that engage that you have from J-Team is basically negated.
The 2 big things I want to take note of in this draft right now is like, firstly, what Brandon said, barrel lane matchup now going to get a lot of attention. Camille against Riven, whoever gets a lead in that matchup is likely to snowball. You want to devote all your resources there. But I really love Nova sacrificing their top side of the map, just showing all 3 picks there, just to make sure that they would not get counter-picked by J-Team 4-5 on Rip. This is really good stuff to secure their bot lane, ban away the trash. Really smart from Nova. They know J-Team are going to throw the Gambit down in Dragon Lane now.
This is a little surprising to me. The
Oh,
Alistar
ban.
being banned by J-Team, right? I feel like this
Yeah.
could be a great angle for the Alistar here. They need some form of disengage. Maybe something like the Gragas could still come through. Nova have so much engage going for them. You have the Camille going through, you have the package, you have the Xin Zhao, and then whatever you want to finish off the composition with just rounds off that composition. J-Team, on the other hand, they don't have many tools that can get you away from a fight to begin with. You're very likely going to have to reposition away from these fights, and you think back to how J-Team lost and failed the fights around the Dragon was because Nova collapsed in on them and they couldn't stop them.
All right, something going on with
Did they really just style on?
bans
Did they
right
really
we're
just,
waiting to see what
did
the
they really
ban
just
is.
style on them and then just like they just didn't ban? They're
No,
just like,
I'm
you know
sure
what,
there's
we don't-
something there. We're probably just going to have to wait and see on that one. But I mean, from the picks that we do see already, I really love the idea that both teams are taking. The approach, it's cool. Both teams have good drops.
We'll get an update to you with what is the status on draft right now, as it does look like we're in a holding pattern. And
there we
no,
go.
Oh wow, Karma was one that I forgot about.
Wait, Karma is still up.
Yeah, I completely forgot. I mean, Karma is really a champion.
It's
that hasn't
game one
really had
all
a lot
over
of-
again.
I mean, it
Yeah.
hasn't really had a lot of priority at all in this series, which is quite interesting because, you know, Karma for me is like more of a supportive champion. You can play her in the support role, but you know, the WRL teams love to play her mid lane, love to play her in the dual lane as more of an AP carry as well. So Now it's over to Remake. I feel like Remake just picks Orianna, Ziggs here. Ziggs is open. Ziggs can be a pick for Remake. There's a Rakan. I honestly feel like this is a Ziggs pick. Rakan, Ziggs is a really good combo. You use the quickness from Rakan, you use the Mega Inferno Bomb as well from Ziggs, and it's a really good combo, and Remake has performed really, really well in Ziggs, and there it is.
Ziggs is a checkmate angle right here. You look at the things that this secures for you, the combos that Nova have access to right now. Like you said, the Rakan Ziggs combo. You have the Cocky Ziggs Perma-Scale, Perma-Wave Clear combo. You have the Camille Ziggs, Hextech Ultimatum into Inferno Bomb, side lane on someone combo. There's just no play for Nova, for J-Team. I really love Nova's draft yet again.
And again, it's the Xin Zhao as well, because, you know, you think of J-Team, you know, they have opportunities to dive onto, you know, the Corki and the Ziggs, but then you have Xin Zhao. As long as Xin Zhao's next to them, disengage, really easy.
And I really love how Nova used Xin as an Olaf replacement. Olaf has been falling off in the meta. Xin has a good matchup into Lee. I love this adaptation from Nova.
And then the classic, if you're picking Engage with Rakan, we'll pick Disengage here with Gragas. It doesn't necessarily fit with the rest of the Engage composition that you drafted in 1, 2, and 3, but they do have themselves an AP answer here.
But I think the good thing is that Gragas sometimes is used to isolate a target. You know, you can isolate a target. Yeah, you can isolate a target with the explosive cast, maybe the Ziggs, maybe the Corki as well.
All right, so with that just confirmed as well with League admins, Nova deciding not to ban.
They're just that cool.
They were just like, we don't need a ban.
We don't need to ban Karma, one of the most banned
champions
champions in the game. We got it. You guys can take that one. We'll take our 2 picks here. Game number 4, and the first of possibly many match points, or maybe the only match point needed. Nova versus J-Team. Let's send it on over to Rafa, Riku, and TJ.
Well, Digon, this just could be the very last game of the Icons' first ever Global Championship.
And it is Nova sitting on stage in a moment that I'm sure will be carved into the rest of their lives, as they need win only one more game to be the first ever world champions in Wild Rift. And J-Team, as we get these cameras on them, are looking a little more dire. It's a little more depressing to look at their side of the stage because they, well, all the pressure is on them.
Yeah, this is it. This is do or die for J-Team, and meanwhile for Nova, we talked about that they're one game away from being the first ever Icons Global Champions. And if they do win this one in a 4-0 fashion, that's cementing them truly how dominant they are in the entire world.
They beat FPX to get here. They took on the best opponents in the bracket. And they stand here not even looking phased so far. We were talking between games. Our biggest criticism of Nova so far this series has been that they look like they're having a little bit too much fun. Last game, Neon was getting a little too aggressive.
Yeah, we saw even outside of the Rift, before the draft even started, we could see smiles from Nova. They were stretching. They were in a very good mood.
They got a 3-game buffer, man.
True.
But if Nova want to clinch down this series, they need to tighten up for potentially the last game.
And if J-Team want to somehow come back in this, they have a game plan. It's get Cherry gold early. Here he comes trying to steal away some jungle, and he is on vision. They will know about him.
And look at Long right now, rotating quickly. Even Neon, they want to get this collapse? No.
So the entire game plan for J-Team is to get Cherry an early lead. There's a lot of squishy characters over on Nova. If Cherry on the Lee Sin gets early gold, he can pass it around, get burst damage, win the game.
Yeah, DY tried to get back into the river, but out of position, not on the same sync up.
Here.
But Dawn is forcing the flash. You can see that everyone is throwing hands at each other just because they know how pivotal it is for Cherry to get online early.
What a crazy start to a Game 3 played on a knife's edge. J-Team win the skirmish. They're going to get both of these Scuttle Crabs, so a minor gold lead for their star carry in the early game.
And the fact that Cherry didn't even need flash.
Barry flashing forward. Gets the flash out of Remake. Can they punish here? Cherry is going to stay here. They can prep a dive.
Remember, he still has flash. He can make a play over here.
Looking for Yami. Yami doesn't have sums from the prior exchange. Cherry still has flash, as you called it out, Riku. The rest of J-Team forcing them temporarily off the turret, but they can't look for the dive.
But this is what map control, tempo control looks like, because J-Team had enough. Uh-oh.
Nian?
He'll be fine.
I think.
No! Nova! First blood for Neon! Remember, guys, this is the mid lane that came in as a substitute for Nova, originally a Baron laner, and said, I can role swap, I can fill in for the team.
And we saw his performance when they went up against FPX. Truly remarkable, truly just very stable. And the fact that, again, Pan held onto his flash with that 1v1 trying to run away. Neon trusted his skill shots, and then he got that first blood for Nova.
And up against FPX, we saw Long, the star player over on Nova, get shut down, which meant that the game fell into the hands of Neon, into the hands of Yize and Remake, who stepped up. Here in this series, it has been the Long show all series long, so much so that Long stands on the precipice of being the first and only player in our international history to hit 100 kills in a single tournament. He's at 99, Mark.
And it feels like he might do it in a manner where he's just crazy when it comes to his champion pool. He is unchallenged, not only right now as we look at it, not only his champion pool, his performance, his consistency, and it's just everything. Always at the right place at the right time.
Yeah, it's that rotation. Here we go.
Like now.
DY doesn't have flash anymore. They punish on it. Remake finds the kill.
Stays at 99 kills. Remake able to find one, which will get more badly needed gold onto the key carry, the Ziggs of Nova Esports.
Barry looking for the collapse on Along, forcing the flash out of him. He's got Cherry in his back pocket alongside Pan. They force him away from the river.
Really good signs of life from J-Team here as they bring the entire team to bear on a Rift Scuttler, maintaining control of the Rift as these Drakes come up.
I think the biggest difference is that, yeah, Cherry's still lingering around this corner, hunting
Does
for
he
Long's
dare?
head.
Do it.
Will he?
Oh!
And that means that Nova Esports maintain control of their side of the jungle, but don't have any extended control of our next objective. 17 seconds away from Rift Herald and Dragon. And J-Team do have the burst damage early on to win this fight, if only they can coordinate well enough.
And it all boils down to Cherry, again, building up Yomu's Ghostblade, wanting to get that damage in. Rift Herald, we might see the early 4v4 because, as you can see, Neon and Pan are doing a big 1v1. Remake, though, being forced out of his tower because of Barry's poke.
They're starting Rift Herald up in the top side. Neon dueling down bottom for a kill.
Thought he was about to package forward here, but the rest of the 4v4 is on the other side of the map. It is the explosive cast from DY, scaparating the map. Cherry with the Dragon Strike by the two-man knockup. Long is taken out by Barry, and the rest of J-Team have the damage to secure the first. No! Wait! Who got the Rift Herald? DY secures it, but Remake gets a revenge kill onto Cherry.
Yize might continue this, though. We'll see. No, not enough range. Too risky. But Remake kills Cherry.
Pan chasing forward here versus Neon. Cherry lives into the second half of that fight on maybe 1 HP, and Remake correctly sees an opportunity to get a little bit more gold, poking over the wall.
Gotta love this team fight, though. The kick coming from Barry in the back line with the Transcendent Embrace was just beautiful to watch. And at this point...
Look at Cherry right here. 1 HP, the shielding keeps him up, and then he just steps a little bit too far forward. And Remake says, yoink.
Yeah, really sneaky.
Bomb clips him, man. And now the rest of J-Team. There's still a Dragon to fight over here.
Yeah, J-Team in control of a game for kind of the first time in a while. Slightly behind in gold, but they do have the Rift Herald in their pockets. That should give them the leverage necessary to fight for this Dragon.
And I think it's a really good sign for J-Team. Imagine they're 0-3, by the way, in this series. And looking at how they've been playing so far, very aggressive. Look at Cherry finding these flanks, finding these kills.
The big target here is Remake. If Cherry can find a way to shut down Remake, that's kind of the first item on the agenda. He's gotten a lot of gold early, and he can do the most damage in this game by a mile.
Remember, Dawn is not here, 4v5.
Yize on to the aggressive. Going forward with a hook shot, forcing DY to body slam over the wall.
Our fight resets here. J-Team backing away, scared of the Nova engage. They need to find one through their burst damage. Use Cherry to start the fight. Pick off key targets.
Pan gets a little bit of burst damage down onto Neon.
Rift
It's
Herald in
Yami
mid.
forward. Mega Inferno Bomb. That's the 100th kill of the game for Long. And Nova Esports can continue the pressure. Yize has got Barry and the rest of J-Team wrangled up here in the blue buff jungle.
100 kills this tournament to Long, and maybe a Dragon to their name.
they're still pretty much healthy at this point to keep going. Look at Neon. He wants Cherry's head.
Yeah, Cherry was pushing in the mid lane, gets the Rift Herald unlocked for the mid turret, but gets singled out and forced away by Neon. That ensures that the Dragon will go over to Nova.
DY still sticking around.
DY tries to steal it, throws out a cast, doesn't make the steal happen. Long secures it. Here comes Pan on a 1v2.
Dawn's coming.
Can he get the damage out? Dawn is coming, is making the charge. Long blinking, but doesn't fall, and Dawn is too late.
What a fight. It was so straggled.
Absolutely, Rachel. And during that time, Cherry ran the Rift Herald through the mid lane, did find 2 turrets there, or a turret and a half, and just got the turret in the top side. So, weirdly enough, the gold at the end of all of that nonsense is dead even despite Nova cleaning up the fight. A whole lot of gold goes on to DY as the mid turret falls. That brings his support character almost 1,000 gold ahead.
Oh, Dawn, I don't know if you want this. Here comes Yami once again. The grand entrance knockup. It's going to force the Blade of the Exile out of Dawn. He's got backup here. Barry fishing for poke.
Yeah, this is absolutely tricky. Dawn, very low. They're going in.
DY, body slam, explosive cast, right onto Nova's heart and core. Can they get the damage down? Pan finds it onto Long, shuts down the jungler for Nova. They're continuing the dive. Remake has got nowhere else to run. No summoner spells, and it is Barry and Cherry with the cleanest dive.
The turret juggling by J-Team, the way that they maneuver, the way that push and pull, he's fine. He's going to be A-okay.
He's all right.
He's okay.
Just
He's
a
all right.
redemption.
But this is the way that you really should play. J-Team is doing everything right. We're looking at Nova's composition, still has to scale in 50 minutes onwards, and now they're taking advantage of that window.
Yeah, we are seeing the aggression we've been missing, and it is worthy of this Coca-Cola pop-off play. As look at this dive, looks so scary, but Remake is the instant focus. The way that Cherry immediately refocuses as the Mega Inferno Bomb comes in, they use Barry's shielding to amp up the attack, and they find key kills heading into this second Rift Herald fight.
It's absolutely scary. Remember, the push and pull.
Package from Neon separates members. It looks like they've already isolated one onto J-Team Barry.
Barry.
Can they collapse? Can they
DY gets him
reorganize?
out.
But the rest of Remake has to get out because he was singled by J-Team's front line. And now the reset on the Rift Herald.
Yeah, both 80 carries, Remake, Barry are low. They have to go back. They have to reset. Not committing just yet. Vision-wise, it's still pretty good for both of these teams. And again, the Barry almost died there. DY saved him.
So things to watch as this fight continues. Remake doing massive damage, doesn't have Mega Inferno Bomb yet, but will again. Also, Neon doing really well in this game. Will have a lot of gold. It's down to Cherry in particular to find those kills.
Cherry forced the flash there. But then another fight on the right side. Barry's been picked off here by Neon. And now Nova can collapse. They have the numbers advantage.
Here comes J-Team. This is the
45.
burn on the Rift Herald.
Cherry, can he get in? He has vision, but he can't see
No.
the objective. Long secures it once again. Cherry has to force to give it up. Mega Inferno Bomb ensures that he can't recall just
The
yet.
target prioritization of Nova, they're able to get Barry very easily here. And again, Nova doing everything right.
Rift Herald in the top side as Nova continue to press forward, continue to do everything
Oh,
right.
here comes Yami. Grand entrance, quickness. They've charmed him up. Pan has got nowhere else to run. He pops the stasis,
dead.
but it's only delaying the inevitable. A flash away. The tactical sweep.
He's
Doesn't clip him,
gone.
but it gets his flash. He ensures the kill.
You gotta love how Nova is adjusting through J-Team's playstyle. They said, okay, you're aggressive. We're gonna do that 2 times. And look at Neon.
Wait, Neon is getting so much damage. Flashing away from Cherry. The Dragon's Rage, the stun. Bam! J-Team lock down Neon.
A massive pickup for J-Team. I don't know if it's enough to stem the bleeding, though, as their gold lead has evaporated as Nova continue to find fight after fight, kill after kill, and they are scaling. This is going to be a scarier Remake in 5 more minutes once he's completed his second item. This is only Luden's Echo that is doing all of this AP damage.
Knock up.
You can't disrespect Remake Ziggs. It has been taken away from him the entire series, and the first game he gets it. He is dropping damage like bombs, baby.
Literally. And imagine what TJ said. It's just a Ludens. He's even building a tier, which means he's expecting this to go through the long haul. He's expecting that Cherry, Pan, and Dawn are going to be constantly eyeing for an opportunity to eliminate him.
DY finding the body slam onto Long. I don't know if you want to tangle with this warrior. And Yeats is coming for the flank. And Yami is able to tangle that into a two-man knock of the rest of J-Team. Have to find a way, but here comes Nia with the package once again. J-Team have been separated at their very core. Cherry running for his life, popping the stasis, but it only delays his death. J-Team once again routed off, and Bear is the only one left standing.
And Nova came into this tournament with everything to prove. They're not a legacy League of Legends organization. They're not a name that League of Legends fans will have known, but they're a name mobile esports fans will have known. And here in Wild Rift, they are stepping up, moments away from closing out this game and winning their first ever World Championship.
We're heading into 14 minutes of the game. 2 dragons secured by Nova. Let's take a look back at that fight.
It all started because of the engage, the powerful engage that Nova has. You've got hookshot, you've got hextech ultimatum, knockups, everything. If you isolate a certain target, everybody's pretty much squishy on the side of Nova. You clean the fight. The target prioritization again of Nova is just insane.
It's perfect. They know exactly who to focus, and every time J-Team make one of these mistakes where they step a little bit too far forward, we have it from Dawn, we have it there from DY, Nova punished them perfectly, saving cooldowns. Long used his ultimate right when Sherry wanted to re-engage and potentially turn the fight. Nova took the entire front half of that battle without spending anything, had everything still up for the second half.
Cherry was trying to link off of Yami and find Remake with a kick flash. Could not get in range. Clutch exhaust.
Yeah, instantly used the exhaust. Remake not having any of Cherry. Cherry, one of the few members of J-Team that still has any gold to their name and can do serious damage to the key carryover on Nova.
And one thing that Nova has now, they won the 5v5 team fight earlier. Now they've got the 4-1 split push that Yize will always win against John in a 1v1 standpoint. Collapse coming through.
Jerry, you gotta run, buddy. Yeetsid doesn't get in range, can't lock him down with the Hextech ultimatum.
And this entire time, Long was cleaning out the top side of the map, took away a whole bunch of jungle farm, and set up vision. With the Baron on the map, J-Team have to know they are playing with their tournament lives on the line. One team fight loss could eliminate them from Icons and crown Nova world champions.
Looking for the pick right now. Dawn and Cherry trying to link up onto Yeetsid, but he's got too much mobility. And Cherry is forced to flash, but he knows that the rest of the cavalry is coming in. Yeetsid with the Hextech ultimatum locks him down with the hook shot. He clips him. Precision protocols, enough damage. DY with the explosive cast trying to link him up. Meanwhile, Long in the 1v3, but he calls in Neon for backup. And the rest of Nova have to retreat here, have to bide their time, waiting for cooldowns. Yami with another grand entrance. Yeetsid looking for the hook shot. If they get enough damage here, they can push it. They can take everything.
2 dead, including the jungler. J-Team don't have enough to control this map. Baron is up. Turrets are falling in the bottom lane. Here in mid, Nova have almost done it.
Yeah, J-Team losing a lot of map control right now. It is very risky for them to walk forward with the map state right now, or else it might snowball into Nova ending this game.
Nova have their hands on the trophy, Mark. They have one palm pressed firmly up against the trophy on this stage as they look for one more good fight. They have an 8,000 gold lead. They have a scaling composition. And the only thing they need to do now is not screw it up.
And bide their time for the Elder Dragon to spawn. Nova can play the slow and patient game. Wait for J-Team to come forward. It is on them to make moves, and it's on Nova to punish.
And the only thing Nova need to do is keep bullying J-Team, keep taking away their jungle, keep growing this gold lead.
And I feel like the only angle J-Team could take, a very, very slim chance, is Yize split pushing without teleport, but I don't think it's very difficult right now.
A kick onto Yami, they stun him down. Grand entrance in the quickness, no way he gets out. He's out of there, baby! J-Team can't even get a pick onto the support, and Neon is looking for the collapse package. They chain onto DY. It's still a 4-on-4 for Nova and J-Team, and J-Team have health bars advantage. They might look to pursue, but you gotta be careful about Remake's damage.
This is the best chance J-Team are gonna get. A 1-for-1 trade. Their support for Neon.
looking for it. Grand Entrance doesn't clip it. Mega Inferno Bomb only gets Dawn onto the backside. Tactical sweep, looking for Cherry, looking for Yates. Dawn about to fall, and Nova looking to push for the final win. Double kill over to them. Nova, it's just one more. Barry, they're going to go down the mid lane. If you take out Barry, you guarantee they are going for it. Don't even wait for the Elder. There it is! Nova and a Prime Gaming ace will do it! This is them blasting through the grand finals and engraving their names into the cosmos as your first ever Icons!
What a statement for Nova Esports! 3-0 in the final. We didn't know if they were going to be able to complete the sweep, complete the final game, and there it is. Not even close.
It's insane when we look at their journey coming from play-ins. They had a few bit of struggles a little bit when we talk about teams that took games off of them, but it did not stop them. It did not stop them at all. 4-0ing, they took down FPX even in the playoffs.
They had to make roster swaps. They had to come here and beat the best teams in the WRL back to back after climbing all the way out to the play-in stage. And this has got to be the best selfie that they have ever taken.
Damn right, TJ, get the trophy in the picture with you guys. That is your name right. That is yours. You have earned it with every single match.
Nova Esports, your world champions. And it doesn't get better than that. The first ever world champions, earning Nova Esports a legacy that will remain in Wild Rift for years to come.
And I want to go back